Angie tried to tell herself not to be ridiculous, that the coffee shop was locked, and who the hell dumps a body in a coffee shop anyway? Grasping at logic did nothing to suppress the clammy fear that grew in her gut, and she felt a cold droplet of sweat running down her back. She wanted more than anything to duck down behind one of the chairs, to hide herself completely from view. But the man carrying the body was only a few feet away from the window now, and he would surely pick up movement in the gloom beyond the glass. She stood frozen, rooted in place, holding her breath and listening to the hammering thud of her pulse. Just as she was sure he was going to make straight for the front door, the man veered off to the right, into the cramped alley that ran down the side of the building. She heard a muted metallic creak, long and slow, the sound of someone trying to suppress the noise they were making. "The dumpster," Angie thought. "He's dumping the body like rubbish." A faint fire of outrage sparked to life somewhere deep inside her. She heard the soft thump as the lid of the dumpster came to rest against the side of the building, and then another thump, slightly louder. The sound of the body being dropped inside. Another creak, the lid being shut carefully. "Get out of sight, now!" Angie leapt behind the nearest chair, dropping low to leave only the top of her head and her eyes peeking above it. She watched the window like a hunter scanning for furtive movement in the forest, her eyes fixed on the spot the man would appear from, praying that he would just get back in his fancy car and disappear quickly. Nothing. The man had not reappeared. He was still in the alley. What is he doing? Angie tried to conjure up an image that would offer a logical explanation, but none was forthcoming. Why would someone dump a body and then just stand around with their engine running? Smoking a cigarette? The notion was ludicrous. No one needed to smoke that badly. Angie frowned. And then she saw it. Movement. But it wasn't the man walking back to the waiting car. This movement was stealthy, creeping into her line of sight in increments. Only the fact that the window was a perfect square gave the movement away, because all of a sudden it wasn't square at all. There was a small indent on the bottom left-hand side. Angie squinted, and it took her a moment to work out what the shape was. A sliver of a face, trying its best to remain hidden. An eye, staring in, directly at her.